All right, hello TrustSwap community. Welcome to the Q4 update and the Q1 roadmap video. I hope you had a relaxing, enjoyable holiday season with your family, your friends, and let's get ready for 2023. 2022 was a crazy year across the globe, macro markets, a huge year of growth for TrustSwap. Many ups, many downs, many learning experiences, and we're much better off for it in the best position that we've been so far, and really excited to give you guys an update on Q4, which was a very interesting one for TrustSwap and one where we were able to pivot and make iterations and changes to better suit market conditions and events on the fly. So let's hop in here. The structure of this update is the same as always. I'll do a little preamble here, a little general update, and then we'll pass it off to our product managers who will give detailed explanations into each product, what they achieved in Q4, and what they're looking forward to in Q1. At the very end, I sent out a form that many of you replied to that was a Q&A. I'll reply to some of those questions at the end of the video. Of course, many of the questions that were asked in the Q&A will be answered throughout this video. So if you don't get your question answered, the chances are it's somewhere in this video. So the way that this video can be watched is twofold. You can either sit back, relax, enjoy. This should be around 1 hour of talk time, and it happens once every 3 months. So this is a really time-effective way to get all your TrustSwap updates in a very short amount of time. Or if you have less time than that, fantastic. On the bottom of this YouTube video, you can see that there's different sections. It should say the Crypto App, it should say Launchpads, Team Finance. You can skim around to all of those sections and just watch the ones that you're interested in. So many ways that you can watch this, and I really hope that you do. This is the best way to get quick, condensed information. So let's start it off with the TrustSwap staking pool. This is going phenomenally, and I really appreciate and am grateful for everybody's trust and faith and confidence in the TrustSwap ecosystem to be able to be staking for such an extended amount of time. In the TrustSwap long-term staking pool, we have some of the longest stakes in all of crypto, and so this really shows the level of confidence that people have, and for some very good reasons as well. Our staking pool, very importantly, it's non-custodial, so that means you own your keys, nobody can take your funds from you. The rewards are already added, so that means that there's no way that the rewards can be removed. There's no liquidation risk. If TrustSwap goes insolvent, you don't lose your rewards, you don't lose your crypto, you don't lose the incoming rewards as well. It's already been added. And of course, there's no bank run risk because everybody could withdraw their principal and their rewards, and that's theirs. Every person's rewards and principal are siloed, and so it's safe. It's secured. How the long-term staking pool generates rewards, which currently are sitting at 27% approximately when compounded monthly, is TrustSwap, the protocol, earns revenue throughout its various services, whether it be Team Finance, the Crypto App. That revenue is then used for buybacks. So we buy back the swap token, and that swap is then added into the long-term staking pool. So the success of TrustSwap is the success of the long-term staking pool, and people are really seeing that, okay, this is really starting to gain momentum and traction. And as mentioned, regardless, even if all the TrustSwap products fail, which of course is not gonna happen, the long-term staking pool rewards have already been added, your stake is secure. TrustSwap Inc., in theory, could go bankrupt and you're still safe. There's no bank run, there's nothing. So that's why we're seeing such incredible stats in the long-term staking pool. Right now, let's pull up the stats here. The average stake length is 3 years and 300 days. So that's an average stake length of just under 4 years long, basically 4 years long. And the amount of swap that's staked for over a year is more than 90%. So more than 90% of swap is staked. More than 90% of the swap in the long-term staking pool is staked for more than 1 year. So that's incredible. The community here clearly sees the value proposition of the long-term staking pool, its security, its future potential, the future potential growth of TrustSwap, and how that spins back to a very prosperous long-term staking pool. Now, after the long-term staking pool, let's take a look at our product suite. So of course, that's Team Finance, the Crypto App, Launchpads, Swappable. I'm going to be the first to admit, Q4 presented some huge challenges across pretty much all of our verticals. It was one of those situations where you take 2 steps forward and 1 step back. So let's kind of break it down bit by bit. I want to be transparent, open up front. I don't like sugarcoating things. I want to be as blunt as I possibly can with everybody so that we're all on the same page. There's no benefit to painting false narratives and then just not being able to deliver. I want to be upfront and transparent as possible with everybody in the TrustSwap community. So that's what we're doing here. So let's start it off with the Crypto App. For many people, the most anticipated feature, of course, is the integration of trade and the integration of swap utility directly into the Crypto App. This feature has been, let's just call it, pushed back quarter to quarter. In Q4, we had said we're going to be going live with trading, making Swap the exclusive utility token within the Crypto App. More on what that means in a moment. However, what happened, as many people know, was there was a cataclysmic implosion of FTX. What this implosion caused us to do is reevaluate our position on our centralized exchanges, the right path forward. We had already done extensive due diligence on a partner that we were going to be integrated with. We had the MOU signed. With the implosion of FTX, we took a step back and we said, is this the most wise decision to ensure security of user funds? Now, FTX, they were in constant talks and communication with the SEC, with the US government. They were, for many reasons, for many viewpoints, quite quote unquote regulated, quite overseen. And still, this huge implosion happened. They had proof of reserves, and they also had proof of liabilities. But the problem was these weren't adequate. There were backdoors, weird trades, weird unspoken liabilities. And we thought, if an exchange that has proof of reserves and proof of liabilities and is overseen and is seen as one of the industry leaders just has an instant implosion that just came out of absolutely seemingly nowhere for a lot of people, losing billions of funds, and most of that being customer funds. For us, that's just unacceptable. And it then puts a huge additional flag on every other centralized exchange out there. If FTX was the golden poster child of regulatory compliance, who can you trust? So this allowed us to take a step back and reevaluate what is our plan with the Crypto App. I'll talk about trading in just a moment, but I do want to mention what we did pivot to, because we didn't just say, okay, well, let's just sit on our hands and wait. No, we actually wrote 14,000 lines of code on Android, 21,000 lines of code on iOS, and we built an entirely new pro mode, and this thing is incredibly feature rich. We've integrated with Masari, with Into the Block. We are the only app globally that has those two partners that are world-renowned industry leaders in data and insights and market analysis integrated directly into the app. The cost to get these individually, I believe, is actually more expensive individually than just buying the pro mode altogether. So when you buy a pro mode on the Crypto App, you get access to both of those features. And if you have the swap token, congrats, you're either going to be getting a discount or getting pro mode completely for free. More details on that in just a moment. So let's revert back to trading. And what's the plan there? Congratulations, TrustSwap team. You've built a pro mode in a quarter, done incredible work. But I was excited for trading. I was excited for swap utility. So first, for people who aren't aware, let's just kind of break down why so many people were excited about this if you aren't aware already. So let's look at an exchange like Binance. Their native exclusive utility token is the BNB token. What does the BNB token allow you to do? It gives you discounted trading fees, gives you access to premium features and content, and it gives you access to Launchpads. Now, of course, we all know the scale of BNB, other exchange tokens, how immensely, let's just call it, well they do. They do incredibly well. And that is exactly what the Crypto App is doing with the Swap token. The Swap token is going to be the only token that gives you discounted trading fees, gives you access to Launchpads, and gives you access to premium features, which we're already seeing in Q1 with the rollout of the Pro mode. So what you see in this trend of exchange tokens really taking off, anticipate to see that with the Swap token as well. Now, as mentioned, we are back a little bit to the drawing board in terms of what is that integration going to look like. Back to the drawing board is a little bit rash. There's either a centralized alternative or a decentralized alternative. So of course, we're looking at option number 2, which personally I'm much more excited about. It's a lot more true to the crypto ethos, self-custody, own your keys, your crypto. There's no ability for insolvency. Everyone has, it's a self-sovereign movement, decentralized. There's no central point of failure. This is very exciting. So we're currently exploring on what that could potentially look like, looking with different providers, looking at different models for the app. Of course, the biggest problem with decentralized alternatives is the ease of onboarding. If you sign on with a centralized exchange, it's an email, it's a password, everybody's familiar with that. We are looking to bring crypto to the masses. And so that is the challenge that we're exploring on how to make a decentralized alternative user-friendly. And just to recap here, currently TrustSwap has around 25,000 swap holders. We are going to be rolling out Swap as the, let's call it, gatekeeper utility token for an app that has 4.5 million downloads. So the amount of people that are going to be holding and using Swap is going to go absolutely exponential as soon as these features get rolled out. When is that going to happen in terms of trading? Likely not Q1. You're going to see Pro mode. That's coming out within the next week, very likely. So that'll be the first little taste, but don't expect to see a massive push towards the Swap token. That's not the goal right now. We really want to just iron out the foundations of the Pro mode with A/B testing, improvements, iterations. Then phase 2, as we potentially integrate trading in a decentralized model, that is where the heat really comes on for the Swap ecosystem. Of course, more people holding, more people buying, that's positive. More revenue equals more buybacks equals more Swap added into the long-term staking pool. The more Swap in the staking pool, the higher the APY. So it's a incredible synergistic flywheel where everything is working together and Swap is dead at the center. So very, very excited about that. And next up, we have Team Finance, which also had an interesting and unforeseen quarter due to an exploit that happened on one of the contracts. 90% of the funds from that exploit have since been returned, with 10% kept as a bug bounty. Since then, we have increased our security protocol. We've gotten our contracts re-audited, but in that wake, of course, there was a little bit of loss of confidence from the market in Team Finance. So especially immediately after the exploit, there was a significant drop in revenue on the Team Finance platform. Since then, the revenue has slowly been building back up, and we're going to continue to work to rebuild this image of trust, security, usability, facility, all those great things. In fact, we're completely redoing the entire Team Finance dashboard to be an incredibly seamless chronological timeline on here's all the products you can use. Right now it's very segmented, and so we're not seeing a lot of projects use multiple services. The way that we're going to be refactoring it is showing the timeline from mint to locks to vesting to staking and how these all work together in a holistic manner. This will drastically increase the amount of revenue coming into Team Finance and the level of security within the crypto ecosystem. As projects subscribe to these services, they are making their projects much more secure, which is going to be eliminating the ability for scams and rug pulls and all that nasty stuff in crypto. That's what Team Finance is doing. There's really two kind of value propositions. From the consumer or retail side, it's making crypto more secure, trustworthy, transparent. And from the business side, it's making it easier, faster, and much less expensive. Usually, to create a staking contract, a vesting contract, you're looking at weeks of development, tens of thousands of dollars of audit costs. And so, you could be looking at a month and 40 grand, whereas with Team Finance, it's already audited. All you have to do is plug in the parameters, no code experience needed either. So another friction point is, your development knowledge. You don't need any with Team Finance to launch a project safe and securely to the world, and huge value adds on both sides. And that's what we're going to be continuing to push. Right now, Team Finance is available on 13 various blockchains, and that is continuing to expand. The goal of Team Finance is to be used by 90% or more of all projects in crypto. That sounds ambitious, but hear me out, is that not every project is going to use every service. That's a guarantee. Not everyone's going to use token locks, not everyone's going to use liquidity locks. We understand that. But what we're building is a full suite of services that no matter what your project is, it is logical for you to tie into at least one of them, whether it's the vesting contracts, the staking contracts, or even employee salary vesting, or potentially even the NFT locks or NFT vesting. So we have a lot of options for various projects of various scopes and sizes that are going to be rolling out and presented in a much more easy to digest and understand way on the Team Finance website, which we anticipate, of our goal, 90% of projects interact with the Team Finance ecosystem in one way, shape, or form. That is exactly where we're going. And so the scale of that is immense, and the benefit of it is even better. As mentioned before, revenue goes to swap buybacks go to the staking pool. When swap is added to the staking pool, the APY rises. Everybody in the staking pool benefits from the success of the TrustSwap ecosystem, and of course, the longer you stake, the higher your APY. So right now, people who have staked for 5 years, which as mentioned, there's the exact number of people who've staked for 5 years, I believe 12 million swap out of 17 million swap, so significant amount of people staked for 5 years, over the majority, over 50%. So they're enjoying very fantastic APYs. And as the TrustSwap ecosystem grows through Team Finance, through the Crypto App, through Launchpads, everything else, boom, that's going to continue to grow. So fantastic there. Launchpads. Our goal is now to be going quality over quantity. In 2022, in fact, there were only 2 Launchpads that were profitable as a whole. Every single other Launchpad, TrustSwap included, their projects were net negative. Now, what were these other 2 projects and why were they positive? Won't say the names, that's for you to uncover. However, the thing is, the only reason they were positive is because they had one major outlier that rose the average, and they weren't positive by much on average. So the rest of their projects were all negative, and they had one project that just brought them above the line. So 2022 was very rough for Launchpads, and our goal at TrustSwap is to be at the top of that list. We want to ensure that the projects that we're pushing out are of the highest quality and are going to be sustainable as well. One thing that we're not looking for is a quick spike and a quick drop. That's not what we're looking for. I understand that there's a lot of people who are these swing traders and da-da-da. That's not the project that we're looking for. We're not looking for swing traded projects. We're looking for projects that are going to be around, thriving 3 years down the road, 5 years down the road. So there may be less projects being launched, but they will be much higher quality and much more realistic valuations. Gone are the days of 100 million fully diluted valuations at launch, and of course the seed price versus the public price discrepancy. Gone are those days. So look forward to seeing much higher quality Launchpads. And in fact, we have a few quite good ones coming in Q1, a couple incubators, a couple Launchpads, of course, Carbon. Check that one out through TrustSwap Twitter or announcement channel. I won't kind of do the pitch for Carbon here, but that's a very interesting and valuable internet browser that already has 5 million downloads. So this is a very strong, sustainable company with immense value add. Check them out. On a couple other notes, and then I'm going to pass it to the product leads. We have auto compound that is fully built now, and in addition it's being audited and almost complete. So if you have a 5-year stake, you can just turn on auto compound, and your stake is actually compounded every 8 hours. So your APY will go up drastically because of auto compound. In addition, there's a new dashboard coming to the TrustSwap ecosystem right now. It's that, let's just call it not so modern dashboard. Just hold on, wait a minute. It's going to get a total refresh, the TrustSwap dashboard, along with the entire team finance look. So 2 huge refreshes coming, and I think you guys are going to enjoy that. So with that, again, super appreciate you guys sticking with us through a interesting Q4, but I hope that you can see that it was one where we have adapted and iterated to match the changing market, and we are in a much stronger position than we were before, and I believe on a much better trajectory. I only really skimmed the surface here because I want to not go too deep and allow the product leads to showcase what they've been up to. These guys are incredibly high quality at their jobs. Anyways, that's enough from me. I will see you guys at the end for the Q&A section. Ciao.
Hello everyone to this update on the Crypto App. I would like to provide you with some insights, what we've been able to achieve over the last quarter and what we have planned next. First of all, I would like to welcome 3 new colleagues who have joined the Crypto App team over the last 3 months. Adela Menzi on the development side and Saeed, who is supporting business development going forward. Really happy to have the 3 on board. 3 really amazing new hires. The main achievement and change that took place over the last quarter is that we are about to go live with a new Pro offering. So we have conducted several customer surveys as well as usability tests, and based on the feedback that we received, what new features you and other users are interested in, we came up with a concept that we are now about to launch. We have just closed 3 partnerships with major brands of the space. First of all, TradingView. So we are going to integrate TradingView charts into the block. So we are going to integrate 42 different widgets and market as well as token analysis that will help you to keep track of what is going on in the crypto space, as well as a partnership with Messari. And for those of you who already know Messari, they will know that Messari is the leading crypto intelligence company in the space. So really excited to having closed that deal with Messari as well, and being able to offer full access to premium contents of Messari through the Crypto App going forward. In addition to these partnerships as well as the Pro subscription model that we are about to launch, we have conducted all different kinds of analysis. We have closely looked into what are our competitors doing, where can we potentially improve, what additional opportunities are out there that we haven't taken care of. We have looked into potential partnerships with influencers as well as a loyalty program, and I'll make sure to keep you updated on all these topics over the next weeks and months to come. We've been able to sign a memorandum of understanding with a leading crypto exchange and worked on the user flows, and we have also done a risk assessment. So this is now giving you a first glimpse into what the Pro model will look like, and I'll share 2 additional screens with you at a later stage of this presentation. So here from left to right, you can see one of the entry points into the Pro model. So you can see that professional research has been added as one point to our app. So that will directly lead you to the Messari section. Then on the second screen, you can see a pop-up that now makes our users aware that this new Pro model exists and its benefits. On the third screenshot, you can see the 3 different packages that will exist in the future: the Basic, the Pro, as well as the Pro Plus. Rest assured that we are also working hard to continuously bring more utility to the Basic model. So we are not only focusing on Pro and Pro Plus. And on the last 2 screens, you can already get a first idea of what is included in the Pro Plus package. So basically the Pro Plus is the all-in package, which includes into the block Messari, TradingView, everything that we have developed internally. So this is going to be a really cool package. Then on the marketing front, we have done a lot of work to get ready for this Pro launch, including social media marketing, including collaborations with news outlets, a larger Google campaign, and you can be sure that there is going to be a big bang when we are going out with the Pro model in the next couple of days. We have been able to also strike a couple of new media barter agreements, for example, with Real Vision. So you can see on the top right side here that we sponsored the crypto daily briefing from Real Vision, and at the same time we did integrate Real Vision's videos from the daily crypto briefing into the Crypto app. So also really happy about the collaboration that we have now initiated and launched with Real Vision. We've done a Google CPI campaign across the US, UK and India, and the numbers were really positive. So we achieved more than 17,000 installs, and the better message here is that all cost per installs were significantly under market levels. So that clearly shows that there is demand for the Crypto app, at least in all these 3 countries, and we will for sure keep using these marketing channels. We've launched a new TCA newsletter, which is coming out on a weekly basis in collaboration with Alpha Hunt. In case you haven't checked it out yet, please do so. There are some really good contents that are being shared every week. In case you have any suggestions, what we can improve, what we should change in this weekly newsletter, feel free to reach out to us and let us know about it. Then the last thing I would like to mention on the marketing side is that we have also been working on a YouTube channel. So we have prepared the first 10 videos for this YouTube channel. We will continue working on contents to make sure that we bring some of the best and most interesting people from the crypto space to you with interviews. We'll do videos about the different features that are available through the Crypto app, and some interesting contents will be uploaded to the YouTube channel shortly. Then on the ASO side, we have launched our first Apple search ads campaign. So that was actually a very important step for us, because we are still very strong on Google Play and rapidly growing on the iOS side. Therefore, we are putting a little bit more effort also into iOS to make sure that we are accelerating the growth to a similar level to where we are already with Google Play. We have worked on the descriptions, the keywords, the graphics that can be seen both on Google Play as well as the App Store, and we have achieved significant improvements. So what you can see is, for example, for Google Play, when you are looking for the keyword crypto portfolio, before we were ranked place number 21, now we are ranking number 3. For crypto news, we are ranking 6. For crypto tracker, we are ranking 3. And actually the change has been even more significant on the iOS side. So for crypto portfolio, we ranked 91, which means that we were basically nowhere on iOS before. But since we put this more into focus over the past couple of months, we managed to get up to place 8. And we are continuously working on this to make sure that we are going to be amongst the top 3 in all of these categories. On the UI UX side, a lot of effort has of course gone into the Pro subscription model and all of these different screens. You can see a few of them here on the right side. In addition, we have been working on a profit and loss page and design as well. So there will be a profit and loss overview in the crypto app in the future. We've been working on a partners and benefits page. So there will be different discounts and also giveaways on this page. This is what we are going to launch later this quarter, as well as on the trading journey. Then on the product development side, it is incredible what the team has achieved over the last quarter. So we have been able to write more than 14,000 lines of code for Android and 21,000 lines of code on iOS in a little bit more than 2 months. I'm super proud of the team that has been working super hard to achieve this progress and to be able to go live with the Pro model shortly. Here on the right side, you can see how Into the Block will appear in the app, as well as Messari. And feel free to check out the Pro model in the next couple of days. There will be a 7-day trial version of the Pro model as well as the Pro Plus model, so you can try it out without any downside. Then we've been also working on a volume as well as market cap alerts that are going to be added into the crypto app. As mentioned before, we've added the Real Vision videos into our newsfeed. We had several blockchain integrations, and we also were able to achieve a 40% reduction of our backend costs. So given the current market sentiment, of course, we also want to do our part to make sure that the costs wherever possible can be reduced, and especially on the back end, we've been able to exchange some software solution, and by that significantly reducing the cost basis. Now, what is going to happen over the next 3 months? First of all, we are going to launch this partner and benefits page in Pro, which I already referred to. We are going to look into new potential revenue streams that we can add to the app, and of course, how we can add additional utility to our users. We will translate the app into additional languages. So the Pro version of the app into German, Spanish, Russian, and most likely also French in the first place. And in a few weeks from now, we want to have the Pro model available in all 12 languages. Then we want to integrate swap utility into the Pro model. So we are currently thinking about discounts that swap holders will get on the Pro model. And one last thing on the business side is that we want to analyze additional collaboration opportunities with some of the other verticals and product lines of TrustSwap. I believe especially on the marketing side, there is tremendous potential for even closer collaboration, and we'll make sure that we tap into all the benefits that TrustSwap as a company with 4 different product lines brings. Then on the marketing side, we'll make sure to launch our Pro marketing campaign, as well as we are going to implement an affiliate program. We want to also translate our app assets into other languages. So we are increasingly also our effort to not only address our English-speaking community, but also, for example, our Spanish, German, Russian, or French-speaking communities, which are also big. And we will also start our campaign with Julia. For those of you who don't know Julia, Julia is a Olympic gold medal winner in snowboarding from Austria, and she is going to be the face of the crypto app in the future. Then on the UI UX side, we will definitely work on the Pro model. So we'll continuously make sure that the flows will be improved, the designs will be improved, and any feedback that you have will be addressed. Then last but not least, on the product development front, we are going to work, for example, on the transaction history, whale alerts, pump alerts, end of week updates. So continuously bringing new updates to the Pro model, and we'll add new features. And we will also continue to work on the updates that get developed together with the UI and UX team. That's it. Thank you very much for listening in, and see you soon.
Hey everyone, Happy New Year to wherever you are in the world. This is Zach here, the product lead for Team Finance. Wanting to give you all an overview of what we achieved in the last quarter and what we're going towards this quarter. So let's jump into things. First of all, I want to focus on the wins from the last quarter, right? So these wins were mostly focused on internal processes and our backends, but there were also some notable front-end achievements. The first I want to highlight is our vesting V3 launch, right? So token vesting is a key new product for us and something that we're going to be building more and more upon going forward. This is targeting really a different customer segment, a higher customer segment. And since launching at the end of December, we've had dozens of customers for this already. So this means that any team can set up a token vesting schedule for their investors, for their employees, et cetera, et cetera. Something that you see quite a lot in the traditional world through companies like Carter, and looking to replicate this for Web3. So Carter for Web3. The second is our dev process optimization. So we've begun running sprints, which is industry best practice. What this is allowing us to do is to ship product more quickly and to better manage workloads. So we're really excited to get that going. And the third are SEO improvements. So there's been a number of these, but one that I want to draw attention to is one that allows us to go from only 150 discoverable pages beforehand on Google to over 400,000. So now every single token that passes through Team Finance that creates a lock or vesting on Team Finance will appear in Google search results. So really excited about that. In terms of just an example of what this looks like, if you look on the left-hand side over here, you can go to team.finance/vesting and see for yourself. But this is kind of what the onboarding process looks like as it is today. And on the right-hand side is what you'll see when you arrive at the site. So full of information about us, about what it is, and the benefit for users. Now, wanting to go over a little bit our Q4 roadmap review. So this is these are the goals that we set out for ourselves at the beginning of Q4, and want to hold ourselves accountable to you, the community, in terms of what we did achieve and what we didn't achieve and why we didn't achieve certain things. So as you can see on the left-hand side here, those in green are things that we did achieve, okay? So we went through at the beginning of October and we had our refactored website rollout. What this meant was a couple website changes to make it run more efficiently. So we pushed that out. I've talked to you guys about the landing page for vesting and the user flow rollouts. We had a promotion on Binance Smart Chain for $0 locks for a limited amount of time. And we also published a brand new Gitbox specific to Team Finance. Previously, this was just for TrustSwap. Now we've gone through and added a bunch of information that's specific for Team Finance. Now, there's a number of things that you'll see on this page here, and they aren't highlighted in green, right? Now, a big part of the reason why we weren't able to achieve this is, unfortunately, at the end of October, we were the victim of a hack, right? Most user funds have been returned. There's plenty of information out there in terms of our Twitter pages and everything that talks about this, but it did push us back a little bit in terms of our timelines, right? So if we think about our goals for Q1, it's really about regaining our momentum and starting the year strong, right? So from an operations, business development, marketing side, we're really looking to push Team Finance onto other websites so that we get traffic through there, right? So a big part of what generates leads and users for Team Finance are people going to websites, seeing if a project has a lock, for example, and if it has a Team Finance lock on there, they click through and that's how they reach us and find out more about us. So we're really looking to push this and develop relationships with 3 other sites to integrate us into there. So that's one thing. Market share is another. So we're looking to really recover our market share post-hack. That's going to be a big focus for this coming quarter. And third is we're looking to ship the Quick Trade Exchange widget, which I'll talk about later on. The claims dashboard, right? So revamping that, and also a full website redesign. In terms of what this looks like from a roadmap perspective, there's a number of different exciting things coming through the pipeline. NOSA Safe integration so that you can directly access and deploy locks on Team Finance via NOSA Safe. New chain rollouts through Tezos and Casper, and a number of other things as well. Finally, I want to make sure we get around to please help us improve team finance. If you'd like to make $50, the easiest way to do this is to participate in user research. Please contact us via the links in the description if you'd like to spend an hour with us talking. And then finally, we're hiring for a BD and partnerships person. So if you have any recommendations of people that have worked with blockchain foundations or in BD and partnerships, we'd love to hear from you. Again, this link can be found in the description. That's all for me for now, but as always, Telegram is open. Thanks.
Hello everyone, my name is Sandeep and I'm the director of Launchpads at TrustSwap. And in this presentation, we will go over a review of what happened in Q4 2022 and also the goals for Q1 2023. So what happened in Q4 2022? The market conditions have deteriorated much worse compared to Q2 and Q3. So for example, the FTX collapse and the interest rate hikes in the US have had a pretty negative impact on the overall market sentiment. And if you recall, we had this Myriad node sale via TrustSwap in October, and we were able to raise around $150,000 for this. In addition to that, we also worked on multiple incubation projects, and few of these incubation projects were supposed to be launched in 2022 around December, but given the market conditions and given the collapse of FTX, many of the VCs and many investors have lost or were out of liquidity. So it was super tough to raise funds back in November and December last year. And this is one of the reasons why we had to move those launches over to this year. So two of the incubations that we started working on have been placed in the back burner for now. And this was a decision taken by both the project as well as the TrustSwap team because of the market conditions and they were not in a hurry to launch right away. And then we also partnered up with many of the VCs and exchanges over the last couple of months. We have signed some partnerships, referral agreements, and deal flow agreements with these VCs and exchanges. So we are definitely in a good shape in terms of getting a constant flow of projects that we get our eyes onto. And then we have a rating team that looks at these projects, rates them, and if we like a project, we will go ahead and talk to them. We will discuss potential ways of TrustSwap being integrated or TrustSwap collaborating with them. And it could be an incubation if they are super early. It could be just a launch pad. It could be just a flash launch. So we are open to working with projects on different levels. So coming to some of the key milestones of Q4. So like I said, we had multiple projects that we started incubating in Q4, and I cannot give out the names yet because they're not ready to be launched right away, like today. So I cannot give out the names yet. But project one, the white paper is fully done. The decision around the token launch will be taken in this quarter. And for the second project, the white paper is in the final stages. Like we have the final draft of it and the team has to approve it. And then we will plan for an NFT sale as well as a token sale in this quarter. And then coming to project number 3, the website and documentation are in progress right now. The pitch deck and white paper should be ready by the end of January, and we will plan the token sale around February of 2023. So please stay tuned for that. And then we also, as you know, we did the Myriad token node sale. We raised close to 150,000. And then we also initiated an advisory service where projects that need help, even though if they're not approved to be on a flash launch or a launch pad or an incubation, they can still get our help by being part of this advisory service program. where we, a TrustSwap team has a group of experts who have amazing knowledge on how to do things and how to launch a project. We have expertise on tokenomics, marketing strategy, fundraising, and just general business development. So we have initiated this program where we can actually help projects. And if you know any projects that would benefit from our service, please do let us know, and we'll be happy to get in touch with those projects and explain them what we can offer and the logistics around that. And last but not the least, we also focused on customer service. We still have some pending issues here, though. Some of the customers still need the refunds from soul checks, and then in regards to parties here, there is still that 10% discount thing that needs to be applied for few of the wallets that have sent funds slightly later. So we are working with parties here on that, and we hope to resolve them as soon as possible. So coming to the goals for Q1 2023, again, we will continue to collaborate and work with other launchpads and VCs. So, the goal here is to get in contact with all the top VCs, all the other launchpads, and have a deal flow of projects where we can potentially offer good projects, top rated projects to the community. So we will continue working towards that goal. And then we will also focus on advisory and incubation deals. And one of the goals we have here is to offer early rounds, like the seed round or the angel round, or even private rounds to our long-term stakers. So we are definitely going to continue working towards that goal in Q1 2023 as well. And then we will also strive towards improving customer service further. And we will also be initiating a new scheme where we will be sending out a feedback form to all those who participated and pledged for the upcoming Carbon Launchpad as well, which is scheduled for the 30th of January. So we will take in the feedback from our customers, and we will strive to improve the Launchpad process as well. And one other thing we have in mind for this quarter is to explore the STO market, which is the security token offering market, as well as we are also looking into entering the African market for token launches and incubations. We have a good lead that has already connected us to a potential deal flow from the African markets. And our team is currently looking into it, and we are analyzing, and we are trying to create a program around the projects that are coming out from Africa. So yeah, once that due diligence is done, once our analysis and research is done, we will announce some information around this, but please stay tuned for this. And coming to one of the long-term goal of the Launchpad division is to integrate the marketing and outreach power of the Crypto App and to create a frictionless platform to launch projects. So this is something which is on the longer term goal, but we will be dedicating resources and time to actually get this going. So we will be working towards this as well. And of course, one other goal we have is to improve our internal documentation and checklists. That's more towards that's facing the clients and not the community, though. But yeah, so these are all the goals we have for 2023 and for Q1 2023. And if you have any questions or comments, or if you would like to suggest anything or anything to the Launchpad department, please feel free to email me at sandeep@trustswap.org, or you can also DM me on Telegram. DMs on Telegram are slightly tough to respond to because I have a lot of groups and messages open on Telegram. but email is the best way to get hold of me. Thank you.
Happy New Year, TrustSwap family. This is Honora Moby, the Chief Marketing Officer of TrustSwap. I wanted to just wish you a Happy New Year and say I hope you had a really good and relaxing time with your friends and family over the holidays. Got some time to recharge and get ready for 2023. I know we did. We actually took a break and we're excited to get right back into it. So this is a short video just to give you an update about what we did in Q4 and kind of keep you abreast of the changes coming in Q1. So let's get started. So on the agenda, I'm going to talk about Q4 and Q1 planning for TrustSwap as the parent company, Team Finance, the Crypto App, and the TrustSwap Launchpad. Okay, Q4 was extremely busy for us, which is a good thing. Always good to be busy in the bear market. We expanded our team, our marketing team, with four plus resources. We added a temp and some researchers as well to increase efficiencies, where we're able to do a lot more because we have a lot coming down the pipeline. So that was great. We had a highly successful collaboration with ZeroX, a Team Finance collaboration, where we did an AMA and lots of multimedia. We created a full marketing plan for the Crypto App Pro model, including edits, banners, and videos, and a deployment plan. For those of you who don't know, the Crypto App is releasing the Pro model very, very soon, and probably by the time you watch this, and the deployment would have begun, and we have a lot of goodies in the Pro model section, so stay tuned for that. We also rebuilt the TrustSwap newsletter with newer and more dynamic and engaging content. So those of you who are signed up to our newsletter, that should be 100% of you, should have noticed the difference with our content there. We designed a repeatable blockchain marketing plan for Team Finance, where we are able to very quickly identify the marketing changes we want to make or the marketing campaigns for different chains. Each chain is a little bit different, and we're able to rapidly deploy those campaigns quickly. So we've done that. We did a lot of those tests in Q4, and we're excited to expand that in Q1 of 2023. And finally, we did a lot of assets, whether it's video, whether it's banners, whether it's text and content for both the Crypto App, ongoing marketing campaigns for that, the Crypto App Pro model, which you're going to see soon, and for Team Finance. And a lot of those assets we're going to deploy in Q1 of 2023. So let's talk a little bit about our Q1 goals. For TrustSwap, we continue to say over and over again, TrustSwap is a company with multiple verticals or subsidiaries, and we add a lot of value across the cryptocurrency ecosystem. So working here is a little bit different. It's not just one thing you're focused on. Like, you're not just focused on liquidity locking or NFTs, or you're always working on a lot of things across the ecosystem. So we continue to drive that message home and reinforce that value. And to help us do that as well, we're building a lot more decks for internal decks and external decks for conferences, for PR, for partners, and business development. All of those are due in Q1 of the year. This is one I'm very, 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 very passionate about, which is video interviews. We have some of the smartest minds in the cryptocurrency ecosystem and the crypto ecosystem. We have some of the smartest minds working at this company, whether it's the executive team, the marketing team, the engineering team, the creative team, the Team Finance teams, the Crypto App team. We have so many incredibly smart people working here, and we're going to do a better job of exposing those people to you in interviews, video collateral, written interviews, etc. So we plan to do a big push for that in Q1. We also, in tandem, plan to do more thought leadership content with blog posts on the site. And finally, for Q1, we're going to be doing a lot more marketing support for some of the events. Like, fun fact, we're actually at the World Economic Forum right now, which is incredible. We're running an event there with our partner and Launchpad client, Art Meta. So that's going to be that's incredible. It's actually happening next week, but we're already there planning and setting up. So marketing is doing a great job of supporting the company with outbound marketing and events, etc. Let's talk a little bit about team finance. So we continue to support the team finance brand and product with advertising, of course, marketing, and doing a better job of user personalization, right? User personas. Who's using our products? Who's using what products? When do they use them? How long do they stay on site, etc. We're drilling deeper down into all that. We're going to be doing a bunch of blockchain pushes. And what that means is, for all the different layer ones that we're connected to, assessing their communities, making sure their communities are aware of team finance, and doing focused pushes in Q1. We are, going to be adding a newsletter into team finance. We're very, very excited about that. Team finance users are going to be able to sign up and get updates about the product. There's so many incredible changes coming to team finance. The product continues to add value after value after value to the crypto ecosystem. We can't wait to share them with you. You're going to be seeing a lot of activity in that regard. So there'll be a way for you to sign up for a newsletter and basically get updates as we push out new changes. We're also adding a lot more content to the site, contextual content in the form of help and Gitbooks. So customers have context about the product that they're using. If they have any questions about what is a token lock, what is a liquidity lock, etc., what's staking as a service or vesting as a service, you're going to be able to find a lot more. And as a side benefit, we're going to be deriving SEO benefits from all that. So that's happening. And we're going to be doing a job of connecting with crypto influencers, especially on the YouTube side. We're going to be creating a lot of video reviews for team finance, and just spending more time with YouTube and established crypto influencers and sharing the good news that team finance has. Let's talk a little bit about the crypto app. Pro model. We're so excited about the crypto app pro model, and we're going to be working extensively on product positioning and marketing. Like I said before, we've worked on extensive collateral, whether it's multimedia videos, banners, just ads of all shapes and sizes, and interviews, etc. So we're pushing those out in Q1. We're going to have an affiliate model. So we worked on the functional and technical specs for that, for the pro model. So getting third parties to actually sell and make a commission on the crypto app pro. We're going to be pushing out a lot more landing pages to determine which, as we start to experiment A/B testing to kind of figure out which features of the pro app you guys love the most, and working on pushing those out as well. And just supplemental marketing, right? We're going to be doing the supplemental marketing and promotion for the pro model as well. So just a whole bunch of that is happening in Q1. And then finally, the TrustSwap Launchpad. The Launchpad we love so much. Relatively quiet for Q4, but boy, do we have a bunch of stuff coming down the pipeline in 2023. So we're going to be kicking off in Q1 with quite a few launches. Whereas for the Launchpad with marketing, we continue to work on the process for launches and flash launches and incubations. We're actually working with external advisors and making a lot of progress there to kind of smoothen it out a little bit. Lots of multimedia exposure for our Launchpad customers. We're doing a better job of doing Launchpad interviews. I think we did some really good stuff with Acquirify earlier on. Late last year, and we're continuing to do a lot more of that in Q1 with some of our Launchpad customers. We're going to be interesting. We're going to be expanding and taking a look at different parts, geographical territories. Some of the things we're looking at is research Launchpads potentially in Africa, Nigeria, Cape Town, etc. So we're going to be doing some research into maybe doing some launches there as well from customers who are there as well, and working potentially with CV Labs on some very exciting stuff coming soon. And we have a very exciting incubator coming. I can't really tell you the name of it, but we're very, very excited. And that one's going to be really special. So we're looking forward to putting that out there and giving you a chance to get involved. That's pretty much it. We continue to work in a bear market, and we're excited. We're hiring, we're expanding. TrustSwap is doing well. We're excited about the future of crypto. Thank you so much to our community. We couldn't do this without you. Thank you for your support, and look forward to giving you another update for Q2. Once again, Happy New Year, and I hope you've had a good New Year so far.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Swappable update as we close Q4 of 2022 and we enter into Q1 of 2023. Here you can see the agenda of what I'm going to cover in today's video, starting by taking a look at some of our recent achievements. Then we're going to move on to our takeaway from Q4, and we're going to finish with a look at our focus for Q1 of 2023. So let's jump right in. Kicking off with some of our recent achievements, I have highlighted 4 accomplishments that I am actually hoping you're already familiar with, given the amount of awareness we've created about these across our channels. But I just wanted to draw your attention to them now here in this update. So, in Q4, we launched the new Swappable website. Our old website was originally designed for our B2C offering, so it reflected our previous ventures of NFT drops and INOs, so initial NFT offerings. So in this quarter, we revisited the site and we built out a new homepage to better reflect our current B2B proposition. This site is now live. It's been built as a landing page, so it's a single page site that's been designed to convert. It has been designed to convey to users our new product offering, and it is ultimately a shining example of the quality of work that we can produce. So it's a very nice looking site. So on my screen you can actually see a little screenshot of how the header section looks, but if you haven't gone and checked it out live, then please do after this video. You know the link, it's swappable.io. In the middle of Q4, we attended the CCA Token Summit in Liechtenstein, where we presented what we refer to as the Swappable Framework. This Swappable Framework is the perfect blueprint to launching an NFT collection. It covers everything from the start to the finish, so it covers everything from concept and strategy right the way through to sales and delivery. This is something that we put together from our experience over the past couple of years of launching all these different NFT drops, and we use it for our clients to kind of set them up for success and guide them through a structured process for launching their NFTs. And this is something that our COO, Ivan, presented live on the main stage at the CCA Token Summit event to all of the conference attendees. So down here, you can see a little photo of Ivan presenting it, or actually we have the full-size images on our social channels, so go check them out as well if you want to take a look. This is something I wanted to highlight here in this update, as it demonstrates some of the great visibility that we're creating for Swappable and TrustSwap. And here again is a nice example of how it's putting us in a position of authority in the NFT space at a major conference. Another big part of Q4 has been our work with the Liechtenstein Bankers Association, which I am sure you've seen a lot of activity around this. I'm not going to go into too much depth here today, but this project has seen us working with the body that supports the entire Liechtenstein banking industry. It's seen us launching an NFT collection that is actually claimable by every employee in the country's banking industry. So it's very impressive. And we have just wrapped up an awareness marketing campaign, which was actually also in collaboration with our partners KlimaDAO, which had a very strong social media campaign across the LinkedIn and Twitter channels. And we also launched a PR campaign which secured coverage in a lot of the financial media across Switzerland and Liechtenstein. So it was a very successful campaign. We're actually working on phase 2 of this drop to build upon this partnership and create some evolving NFTs. But we'll announce more about this soon. But it's taking the drop to the next stage. So there's going to be some more awareness and pushing boundaries of how this technology can be used. And the fourth and most recent achievement I'm highlighting is our partnership with Boson Protocol. Boson Protocol are building e-commerce layer tools for integration into Web3 platforms. So we have partnered with them to explore how together we can push the boundaries of Web3 for integration of their tools into the products that we're building. This is a great partnership that we're only just starting out on now, but we are super excited to see how it evolves and how the relationship can strengthen our product offering. So Q4 has been good for Swappable. We've had a number of achievements, but those are just 4 that I wanted to share with you here today in this update. Moving on to our takeaway from Q4, what has been particularly exciting to see over the past few months is the evolution of the NFT market. So by this I mean how it is changing, with more and more large organizations entering into Web3 and specifically building in the NFT space. So personally, to anyone in the NFT space, this is super exciting to see what these companies are doing and how they're doing it. And what really stands out is how they are utilizing NFTs as just one tool in a more comprehensive Web3 strategy. So by this, what I mean is we're no longer seeing the brands launching NFTs for the sake of being NFTs, so the cash grabs, but and the sole purpose of the NFT drops, but we're seeing them launching NFTs with real utility, real use cases as part of access to their products or their services. I think probably the best example to explain this is Starbucks, who've just launched their NFT loyalty program. And this is a very bullish signal for NFTs in that it shows we're finding the next step to major adoption. So we're seeing real use cases ready for everyday use by the general user. This is super exciting to see, but as a takeaway, what I want to talk about is how we can use this to help our company progress and to be more successful. So the takeaway is that we've been giving thought to how we can build out Swappable to be more of an encompassing Web3 offering. So right now we're building these NFT solutions, but we can integrate more with the rest of the TrustSwap ecosystem and build out a more comprehensive service for our clients. So we're excited to embrace these changes and see how we can position Swappable at the forefront of onboarding more and more businesses into Web3, which leads me nicely onto our focus for Q1 of 2023. First up, we have the World Economic Forum, which is actually happening next week, where in partnership with ArtMeta and CV Labs, we have created an NFT gallery in the CV Labs network and lounge. This gallery will be similar to what you've seen us create before for a number of different events last year, for example at CV Summit back in Switzerland a few months ago. And at the World Economic Forum, we are going to have our own event called Blockchain Beyond the Hype, where we've got an afternoon of panel discussions and keynote speeches lined up from a lot of different influential figures in the crypto space, from different companies that you'll know the names of, such as DLTX, Velas, Ava Labs, 1inch, Storm Partners, BitMEX, Metaverse Academy. It's a pretty long list and it keeps on growing. The event's going to be epic, so you can expect to see a lot about it on our channels in the next week. We've been working on this for a few months now. We've just gone live with the marketing campaign. And the World Economic Forum is a huge event. It's globally recognized, so we're creating some really significant awareness of TrustSwap here. Moving on, we have another activity planned as part of our strategy that is going to help us expand into Africa. So this is pretty big news. We're in the early planning stages of this, so you can expect more to follow. But we're going to be hosting another NFT gallery at a leading South African event. So this is going to create some really nice awareness of the TrustSwap ecosystem, and this event is scheduled towards the end of Q1. And next up, we're going to look at how we can enhance our product offering. So in line with our takeaway from Q4, we're going to begin looking at how we can create a more comprehensive service for our clients, so to strengthen our product offering. This is going to be about building on top of our white label solutions and exploring integrating NFTs further into the TrustSwap products. So the idea is that we can provide a deeper service and further exposure for our clients into Web3 through the wider suite of TrustSwap products. This is going to be an interesting one. We're excited to see where we take this, so follow for updates. And lastly, we're gonna focus on building relations in the NFT space, like how we partner with Boson Protocol recently to explore the building of e-commerce elements into our products. We're going to be working on some more quality partnerships, building some relationships, and networking with different builders in the NFT space. Again, kind of helping us keep ahead of the product curve and helping us develop our product offering in a streamlined manner. And that's it for this update. If you have any questions, please do reach out in the community. Thank you for watching.
All right, now moving into the Q&A section where I sent out a form, you guys answered, asked all of your questions. Let's just dive right in for the sake of time. So the most common question in the form was exclusively related to swap utility within the Crypto app. Now, I'm very excited that this was the most asked question because in my opinion, this is where a ton of the juice is going to come to the swap ecosystem. So let's recap here. Even though it was mentioned before, it's worth mentioning a second time. So the swap utility within the Crypto app, as is roadmapped currently, we have the ability to get discounts on trading fees. We have the ability to get access to premium features and the ability to access Launchpads. Swap is the only way that that can happen. So you can look at other exchange tokens. You can look at BNB. You can look at any other. It's a very similar model and in many cases with additional utility. Now the difference here is many of these exchange tokens started as small exchanges and slowly scaled up. The difference is that the Crypto app already has 4.5 million downloads, which puts it realistically in top 20, top 15 exchanges globally in number of users if, in theory, all of those users convert. Now, Swap is going to be the gatekeeper token for many of these features. So if you're not holding Swap, some of the features won't be available or they'll be much more expensive. So it will be very strongly encouraged for people to be holding, buying Swap, which will be accessible through a fiat on-ramp and other modalities as well. So right now, TrustSwap, as mentioned earlier, has only 25,000 holders. You understand where we're at now. We're introducing it to 4.5 million people, with it being the gatekeeper to an immense feature set full of value. So the amount of people holding Swap, expect to see that go exponential. Will it happen in Q1? Likely not. Will it happen in Q2? Very likely. Right now, as mentioned in Q1, we're likely not going to be integrating the trading feature. We're focusing on the pro mode, which still puts Swap as the utility token for discounted fees on the pro mode. So if you're a top staker, you're going to be getting either discounted or free access to the Crypto app. So look in for that. This is where I think a ton of the juice is going to be coming to TrustSwap, as well as the Launchpads and the success of the Launchpads, as well as you'll be able to apply directly for the Launchpads within the Crypto app, making the Crypto app and TrustSwap one of, if not the largest Launchpad globally outside of the most famous ones as like Binance or CoinList. It would be larger than any of the others, DAO Maker, Seedify, Polkastarter, many more users. So check out for that. And moving on to a question from Daniel, he says, is there any plan on DAOifying, decentralized autonomous organization, ifying TrustSwap in the future? If not, are there any plans to increase transparency, as I'm hopeful this will bring greater interest in the project? So he also asks, I'll do two parts because he does ask two questions. What are your thoughts on integrating over-the-counter peer-to-peer swap function within the Crypto app? So let's break those two questions down one by one. Are we going to be doing a DAO? Are we going to be doing a voting DAO in the near future? The answer to that is no. Too many cooks in a kitchen is a very common problem, which I'm all too aware of. We have a leadership team that is steering the product in a very distinct direction. That being said, we do have two groups. We have the Top 1,000 Staker Telegram group and the VIP Community Council group, where if you have 1 million swap score, which means 100,000 swap staked for 5 years, you then have a ton of power in your voice on where you'd like to see TrustSwap go, in your questions, in your comments. It's a continuous AMA, a continuous back and forth with ideas and iterations. We're happy to have input from the community. This is what we love. However, what we're not going to be doing is making it a democracy where people vote on the direction. And the reason for that is, in a democracy, you want the specialists guiding the direction. The team at TrustSwap, this is our job. We work on this 12, 16 hours a day, and we know where we're steering the ship. We love your input, but we know that you're not spending 12, 16 hours a day studying, doing the due diligence, deep in the weeds. And so we'll take all the data and make the best decision to go forward, rather than having people who I feel many times are short-sighted, making decisions in their own self-interest. The team at TrustSwap is making decisions in the best interest of the survival of the company, that you can be sure. So there's no conflict of interest, whereas I feel a DAO, conflict of interests arise very frequently, as unfortunately some people are self-interested in the short term. So as we've shifted TrustSwap to the long-term staking pool, incentivizing the long-term thinkers and holders, we hope that that slowly fades out. And at least we do have the VIP Council group, we have the Top 1,000 Stakers group. So these are where most of the long-term minded people are. And so that's where we take the input from. So let's call it not a DAO, but more like a community forum and town hall that we hold regularly and really value all of your feedback. Next up, moving up, what are your thoughts on integrating an over-the-counter peer-to-peer swap function within the Crypto App? We won't be doing that because simply the best way to do it, the simplest and easiest and most frictionless way, is just to have a regular trading feature that has very low slippage and deep liquidity. So that's what we'll be doing. Moving on, we have John. He asks, regarding the long-term staking pool and having had negative experiences with vesting periods with other tokens which have crashed as soon as the lockup periods have ended with everyone cashing out, what plans and considerations do TrustSwap have for protecting long-term stakers from these grab and dash events? I'm a 5-year staker and nervous what happens mid-year 2027, regardless of whether we might be in bull or bear at that point. So let me just recap John's question here, make it a little bit more concise so that we're all on the same page. A lot of people stake for 5 years, and so there's going to be a period where a lot of those stakes come due, where they're completely unlocked. And what happens? Then does everybody sell? What happens then? So a couple answers to that question is, there was an initial staking period where there were a lot of 5-year stakes, but since then, please check the data on Etherscan on the long-term staking pool. The number of stakes has just been increasing. So although there may be a little bit of a surge at one particular date because the first week had a heavy amount of stakes, a lot of those people, you can also check Etherscan, have been compounding their stake. And once auto compound is on, the stake continues to get compounded. You can increase the length of your stake. So there's a lot happening where people aren't just going to be unlocking at year 5. So this is really not of a concern. And you can just check Etherscan for this data as well. So really strong staking ecosystem, auto compound coming, people continuing to lock, the number of stakes continuing to rise, the length of stakes continuing to increase on average. So this big unlock event in what would it be, 4 years from now, is really going to be insignificant because the number locked within the first year, I'm going to just make an approximation, or within the first week, sorry, was maybe around 4 or 5 million swap, if that. So that means, as more and more get staked, the percentage of what that number is going to be very insignificant. There's no big unlock event coming even in 5 years down the road. So really happy to kind of ease your concerns on that one, John. Antonio asks, I have signed up for the ETH long-term staking pool pretty early, and it feels I'm penalized for it as other chains have way higher APRs. The response that we've given is that it will even out, but it's already half a year and it's not looking like it's going to happen. Can you create a bridge for long-term staking rewards or somehow to even it out? To that, I would say check out the rewards currently. On ETH, I believe it is now the second highest APY, paying out 27% if you're compounding monthly. So we do continue to even out these amounts. And even though there may be a couple weeks where your amount is lower on your chain, it will come back up and your chain will kind of surpass the rest. So like, why do we do this? Why is this happening? Why don't we just have it even all the time? And it's because there's 4 smart contracts: Binance Smart Chain, Avalanche, Polygon, Ethereum. And the APY is just a number of swap that's being paid out. So let's say we're paying out, I'm just gonna make a number, 10,000 swap per day. And if it's divided by 10,000 people who all have an equal stake, everybody gets 1 swap per day. That makes sense, right? 10,000 swap, 10,000 people, they're all even, 1 swap per day. What happens if another 10,000 people stake? Well, now you have 20,000 people and 10,000 swap. So now it's only half a swap per person per day. So as more people stake, the APY drops just a little bit. And the way that the APY rises is by us taking the revenue of the TrustSwap protocol, creating buybacks, adding it to the long-term staking pool, and then APY goes up. Because now rather than having only 10,000 swap per day for 20,000 people, now we have 20,000 swap per day for 20,000 people. So now we're back at that same APY. So it's a little bit of a race, you could say, between the number of stakers and the growth of the TrustSwap ecosystem. But as you can imagine, the more people we get in the TrustSwap ecosystem, the more the APY goes up as well. So it's really this synergistic flywheel between the two. So thank you for that question, Antonio. Kenneth asks, what is TrustSwap doing to prepare for the next bull run? Any big marketing and product releases lined up to skyrocket the project into popularity? So the Crypto App is going to be a huge foundational part of that, as that is the gateway to retail, to Launchpads, to trading, everything in there. On the business side, we have Team Finance, which, as mentioned, is aiming to touch 90% of all projects across all chains, from locking, staking, vesting, employee salaries, NFTs. We have it all. It's all cheap, it's all audited, and it's all super effective, and you don't need to know how to code. So we are building the foundations so that no matter what the market dynamic is, we have valuable tools to be used by both retail and businesses. And also with Team Finance, we're building an enterprise version, which is more for TradFi, to kind of how can they plug in to the Web3 ecosystem. And this can also be a huge revenue generator as we white glove them through the A to Z process there. So we are already preparing for the next bull run, and we're building bear market resilient products, because no matter what's happening, trading still needs to happen, projects are still launching. So that is what we're aiming at. We're not looking to have products that are just really, let's call it, market dependent. I would say Launchpads are very market dependent. That's why you haven't seen many of them, and we've shifted our focus, pardon me, into building foundational software. All right, next question. Will you be able to buy swap from the Crypto App with a credit card? The answer to that is definitely yes. Fiat on-ramps coming for TrustSwap, for the swap token, and for other major currencies as well. So the last question here, what is or will be the unique aspect of the Crypto App versus competitors? Why would new users use it instead of others? So let's talk about that. As mentioned, we've already integrated Messari and Into the Block, 2 of the market leaders in research, and we're the only app that has both of these combined. Our pricing is actually lower than these individual services by themselves, so we're already offering an immensely valuable service. If you like Messari, if you like Into the Block, you should just download the Crypto App. You have a discount. So huge benefit there. Of course, as mentioned, we're looking at decentralized options for trading, self-custody. So what we're going to be doing is offering something much more secure than the other, you have alternatives like Coinbase or Binance, and we've seen what's been happening in the exchange space, and you want to be able to have full trust in the app that you're using, or a trustless state is more important. So you don't need to trust the Crypto App because you hold your keys, you hold your crypto, You are self-sovereign. That is super exciting. And then you have access to incredible features like the trading that can be cross-chain and Launchpads that are also cross-chain. So your one app, your portfolio, your news, your research, your Launchpads, your trading, you have everything all in one app. That's the goal. And it's not like I hear it's the all-in-one solution. We're not going for this blanket all-in-one solution. There's some very specific features and products that we want to include within the app that add value to retail users, as well as can add value to layer one blockchains is another business vertical that we're going after, adding in the various other L1s and their products and their features, adding value to them, getting grant programs from those L1s, which can be very lucrative and a credible business model, and also adding a ton of value and utility as these L1s have generally partnered with massive institutions or teams or companies, whether it's Manchester United or Ferrari or what have you. So we're making those links and bringing that into the app. Massive new user base, massive new utility, cross-chain, own your keys, own your crypto, super exciting stuff. And there are some apps that have flavors of a few of these aspects, but no app is doing it really well altogether. And our dev team is crushing, our biz dev team is crushing it. So I am very excited for what the Crypto App is going to be delivering in the coming 3 months, even though trading has been a little bit delayed for various reasons. It seems like the thing that's never coming. It's the light at the end of the tunnel that never quite makes it here, but it is coming. It's just, as mentioned, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and I'm glad that we've done it that way because that has allowed us to take the time to do the due diligence to make sure that we're making the right decision with security as the primary focus. Our number one priority is ensuring that the Crypto App is safe and secure. Everything else is a bonus. So that's the goal. That's where we're headed. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. 1.5 hours, that's all you need in per quarter, every 3 months. Not a bad time allocation. And I really appreciate you guys for sticking with us on the journey, for the support, for the faith in the long-term stakes. Without you guys, this would be a much more arduous process. We appreciate your input, your ideas, and as I said, your continuous support. So looking forward to another strong quarter, and we'll continue to keep you updated. As always, the top 1,000 staker group in Telegram, just join it right there, and it's a continuous AMA. If you have any questions, any comments, any concerns, lay them in there, tag me. I'll be within 24 hours at an absolute maximum. Happy to answer your questions, and looking forward to a strong 2023. Thank you guys. See you next time.